Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. I am coming to you on Friday, January 16th at 11:59, a couple minutes late. But I'm posting this as if it's my Friday night video. So let me get my devices set up and make sure things are in order. I did restart my phone, so hopefully we're good to go. It's always a good thing when my tablet says live instead of upcoming. And then we'll just get my computer going. And I think we'll be good to go. Awesome. So, welcome everyone. If you join on live, feel free to let me know where you're joining from. If you've not been here before. If you've been here before, welcome back, but welcome either way. If you've been here before, I might remember where you're from. We'll see how good my memory is. All right. So let's do our quickie announcements while folks jump on. Paper Pumpkin subscription period is open until February 10th. There are a lot of benefits to doing Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, one of which is you have access to Paper Pumpkin subscriber only items. Past kits, refill kits, add-on items. The current add-on, hey Juju, the current add-on item, MacMan might be in here actually. He just went to bed a couple of minutes ago, so hello MacMan. These add-on dies coordinate with the January, February, March Paper Pumpkin kits. If you subscribe with me by February 10th, which is the end of the subscription period, I will put your name in a drawing to get these free dies. I bought an extra set just for that. And these are the dies. So there's a background piece, there's a sentiment piece, where none of these little itty bitty pieces are loose. So it's really awesome. Hello, Robert, welcome. And then there's that tulip that's a dimensional sort of thing. Oh yeah. All right, so next, product of the month. We've been waiting. I got mine yesterday. Maybe we'll use one of the sentiments on here today. I don't know. I'll leave this so it's close by. We might use that. Product of the month. If you order $75 before tax and shipping, you have the option of adding the monthly specific product for only $5. All right. Yeah, I think I love this little scripted font. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. But I'm really excited to use it. So that's a good deal. Bonus days. So if you step down your order and you don't want to get that product of the month, but you still order like $50 worth of product, you can get a bonus coupon for $5. So if you order $50 before tax and shipping, you get a bonus $5 coupon to use next month. So from February 3rd to February 28th, this is our Earn 'em and Burn 'em club. All right. If you've got questions on that, let me know. All right. Virtual card retreat. The video has been released for this for the extra preparatory cutting to do before the retreat. If you're buying the retreat and you're local to me and you want to do a watch party, let me know that you got your kit. Let me know that you want to come over so that I can have the studio open. All right. I am planning on doing this. So MacMan, if you're listening, these 2 days I'm going to be online. So you might have to bring me dinner. So it'll be 2 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time, basically 2 days of master classes from the Stampin' Up! Folks, concept artists, product designers, all of that, sharing with us different techniques and how they arrived at some upscale kind of cards. So these are more advanced cards. If you're a beginner stamper, don't let that stop you. Oh yes, he's very good about bringing me stuff when I'm involved in these things. He's really good about it. I will, if you're doing a watch party with me, I will still have the studio open probably about 2 p.m. our time. And if you don't want to stay till 10 o'clock, I get it. It's late and it's dark at night. So on stage, if you're a demonstrator, this is such a fun event. It's in Long Beach, California. Today is the last day to register. So you've got like 53 minutes because it goes by Utah time to get registered. If you haven't yet and you're on the fence, join me there. It'll be fun. And MacMan will be there as my roadie, but he won't be in the onstage events. He'll just be there to drop me off, pick me up, and get food and stuff afterwards. Sightsee a little bit if we can. My calendar of events Monday. Next week is actually kind of a busy week. The 19th we have most, the Monday open studio time. Those that are local to me know how this works. You bring your projects, things you want to work on, things you should have been working on, things that aren't finished that you want to finish. You just want to chit chat. You just want to snack, visit, whatever. Studios open from 2 to 6 p.m. If I know somebody's coming after work, the studio will be open until 8 o'clock. All right. The 20th, I have a demo only event for a challenge. So I will not be available for things on the 20th. The 21st, I've got my coffee and a card at the coffee house in Waterford. And then we've got the 22nd and 23rd is a virtual card retreat. The 25th, I need to get some notification out, but I still want to try to have this Zoom team meeting. So those of you that are on my team, I'll try to get something out sometime over the weekend, but our granddaughter's going to be here, so we'll see. We can get going in just a minute. Just a reminder, latenightLori.stampinup.net. That's where you can find all the nitty gritty about the promotions going on, the product of the month, all those things, bonus days, stuff. So last night we worked with this butterfly garden kit, and I know Vicki was with us coincidentally. She popped in. She loves butterflies. Tonight I just started playing with some of this stuff, cutting. Oh, awesome. Way to go. I might have seen that, or I might have seen that you were pretty close. But either way, way to go. Yay, yay. And you should get some, I'm thinking there's a bonus, either points or CSV. I'll look into that and let you know if you're not already aware of that. I lose track sometimes. So anyway, tonight I thought we would try a couple of those suggestions that were made last night about like embossing the butterflies, and doing, excuse me, doing a few other things with these. So I was playing with them and I did start cutting things up. So yes, I was doing some fussy cutting. So these are actually quite pretty. This one, actually, it surprised me with how pretty it was. We went from these butterflies to these. What a nice step up, hey? So last night, hey Yuta, last night, and it might have been Yuta that suggested this, I don't remember, embossing the stamping on there. So we're going to do that. We're going to stamp. We're going to use some Versamark. We're going to use some clear embossing powder, and we're going to make those even more spectacular. And I did cut that down. I don't know if we'll do that one first or not. This one I cut down, and I'm just going to kind of show you what I did here for a second because I don't like it at all. And I cut the card apart. So when the card comes, you've got color on the whole length of the card, right? So I cut it down into two pieces. I cut off the back, I layered it down, and I thought the pretty in pink was a really nice color to go with those flowers. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I know you can see this part. I did fussy cut around the edge because that is a little darker green than the base itself. Yeah, I don't remember who. Yeah, I don't remember. And it's not that important, but there were some really good suggestions last night. So I did fussy cut around the edge because I thought, well, we could raise this up. But then I don't know if you can see where it looks a little puffy here. I'll zoom this in a little bit. So I thought we'd try to get a little creative. Now, I don't have a stamp for these flowers because it's a kit, right? Oh, Vicky's here and we're doing the butterflies again. Welcome back. And I just responded to your email, Vicky, that you sent me, I don't know, about an hour ago, maybe. I don't know. I just responded a few minutes ago. Um, so anyway, I thought I would try something that I've never done before. I don't like it. You should be able to see some shimmer. Oh, let me turn on this other light too. You should be able to see some little shimmer on here. Now, since there's not a stamp, I just use the Linda. We are using the Butterfly Garden Kit. This one, it's a brand new one that just released this month. Okay. So we did the first 3 cards last night. These are the 3 cards. And we did them pretty close to what the directions said, but not exactly. All right. So this one I'm going to move out of the way. We're looking at this one right now. This way. Here we go. Whew. Zoom back out. Okay. I forgot. All right. So these were the cards, Linda. Those were the cards from the kit. We mostly followed the instructions, but you know I have a hard time following instructions. All right. So for this one, I used the multi-purpose liquid glue, and I squiggled just a little bit on here, and I put some clear embossing powder on there because that's where the light part of the petals was. And I put some clear embossing powder on it, and I heated up, and I thought, well, it's not too bad. It didn't really look exactly how I had hoped. But I figured it would have been okay. So then I started working on the next petal and thought I would do a couple more. Well, this one, the glue got a little heavy. It got a little thick. So I put the clear embossing powder on anyway, and then I started heating it up. Yeah, that was a trip. It was like puffy paint. When it heated up, because there was too thick a layer of the glue, it just started puffing up, and it's not flat at all. And it looks more white than just shimmery. So it's like that was kind of a fail. Not exactly what I intended. And some of the embossing powder that was on top of there, when I put the heat gun, because I wanted it to go that way, because this was already heated, right? And I didn't want to melt it into the paper. So then my heat gun blew some of the embossing powder over there, and so it's sparkly over there, which is fine, but I don't like this at all. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to try to put it on super light and see how that works. And it just doesn't go smooth. So it's not like if you even have a mask or a stamp where you can really limit where your adhesive would go, or the slow drying ink, the Versamark. This was just random. So I don't like that. So I figured what I would do is I would cover it with a butterfly. And this is the envelope from last night, but we can do another one. So I thought I would just cover it with the butterfly. Now, this butterfly looks a little unfinished, right? I wanted to kind of show you a couple of things that I did to colorize it. And I used the watercolor pencils. You gals that do other media, the junk journals, I'm sure you have some of these, whether they're Stampin' Up or not. They should work the same. The watercolor pencils are designed so that you color, and then I think I used Night of Navy and Gorgeous Grape. So Night of Navy, here's the Gorgeous Grape. And you can see where I just did, I'm going to move this off of here. I just did a little bit of coloring on here. That is gorgeous. Oh, that's Night of Navy. I'm like, why is that darker? So I just put some Gorgeous Grape on here to add some color. And then I used here the blending pen. The blending pen is what is designed to be used with our watercolor markers, or our watercolor pencils rather. So these tips are the same, you just have 2 tips, all right? And basically all you do is make sure that it's wet, and you can pick up your color. So here I just started picking up some color. and moving it around. That's what I did over here with the blender pen. And it just, you want to leave some white space so that when you pick up your color, you have some toning, some tone differences. So, you know, you can keep it shaded. You want to be careful with this blender pen if you're using regular cardstock as opposed to watercolor paper. If this regular paper gets too wet, it will pill up. So those of you who haven't done the watercolor pencils before, if you're using the blender pen, just be careful how much you rub, how long you rub, or how hard you rub on your paper, okay? So this side I thought was really quite pretty with just moving around some of the color, and this might be a little drier. And I'm getting a little bit of pilling here, so I think my paper is just tired of working. And let me get another blender pen. Maybe I used a different one. Some of my blender pens have been around for a long time. Oh, that one's nice and damp. And maybe I just need a little bit more Night of Navy on here just to freshen it up. And it really kind of makes you look, it has like, it's not just water, it's like a glycerin mix. And I've seen online, it's acid free, xylene free, whatever that is. They're made in Japan. It doesn't tell me what's in them, but I think you can pull these nibs out if it gets super dry. But it's like a glycerin water mix. There's like a recipe that I've seen. I've just never tried to do mine because quite honestly, I have a bunch of them, and then I have 3, 4, 5 more over on my shelves. Don't ask me why I have so many. Some of them were probably my mother's, quite honestly. But all I'm trying to do is, so you can see here where that new pencil mark is kind of blending in. And then when it's damp like that, I can just kind of carry the color around. Now I've got pilling here, so I want to be careful because I don't want to have the paper rip too much. But then like down here, let's put a little bit of color along this outline. And you can go light, you can go dark, you can do whatever you want, depending on how intense you want your colors. Well, I'm going to show you in a second, because I also did the watercolor brush, and that I have right here. So I did that. So I'm going to show you. I liked the blender pen the best. All right, so this was all done with blender pen. All right, this part was done with I've got the blender pen up here, but I did the watercolor brush down here. I did a watercolor brush with 91% alcohol here. I don't like that at all. The alcohol in here, and maybe with 70% it would work better. I didn't have any of my brushes filled with 70%, but because this is such a high alcohol content, it may have dried too quickly, and it just didn't, oh, I had a finer tip one too. Here we go. Because those watercolor brushes come in it comes in a 3-pack with 3 different size tips. All right, so this, when I use the alcohol, it kind of accentuated the color, but it didn't really move it around. All right, so the brush with the 91% alcohol, I did not like because it just didn't move my color around. All right, so I would recommend probably not using alcohol. Then the butterfly paper will not be bothered. I wonder if clear gesso, I don't have that, so I don't know. Maybe, whatever, if that's just like a clear coating. I know some people will use the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue and spread it on there and just let it set and dry. But to me, that's always still a little bit tacky. And I don't think it gives us the smooth finish that I would like. So whatever you're talking about, Vicki, probably is a product maybe I should try. All right. The blender brush is like your alcohol lifter that you use with the Timmy stuff. Yeah, and we have the color lifter also, which is more like a color pusher. That's an alcohol one. And maybe I should get one of those and just try it out. Where did it go? I moved them. They were there. When I started cleaning, I moved some of my things and I lost track of where they were. All right, so here's with the color pusher. The thing with the color pusher though, it's not gonna work now that I'm thinking of it, because the watercolor pencil is not alcohol. This is gonna move an alcohol based, it's like a solvent. So the color lifter, the Stampin' Up! One won't work for you, all right? So this here I did with that alcohol brush, all right, the watercolor brush with alcohol. I didn't like it. But when I come in here with just the water in here, this is what I got. And it just didn't lift as much for me. Now, what I like to do with my watercolor brushes, Wink Stella would work too. I'm not ignoring you. What I like to do with I am out of blocks. How did that happen? All right, I'm just gonna take this one. What I will do is use, I think you've seen me do this before. And I will paint like this, all right? But again, this is more, because this is wetter, it would be more suited for our Fluid 100 watercolor paper. Now, Vicki, I know with your flowers, you were looking at a bunch of different watercolor. You were mentioning a bunch of different watercolor papers. Have you ever used the Fluid 100 from Stampin' Up? Because if you've not, I can send you a sheet of that and you can try it out. It's a heavy, quite heavy paper. All right, so I'm not going to paint this on here because the color isn't quite what I'm looking for, but that's sometimes how I will paint. And this was one of the techniques that got me to join Stampin' Up! Because we had done, it was an Easter card actually, and we had used the watercolor, or the aqua painter, they called it at the time. Now it's just called, I think, watercolor brush. And I'm just putting some water through here to get that cleaned off a little bit. Here's my paper towel. It was just a really nice technique and it looked beautiful. I felt like an artist. So that's what I used here. I didn't care for it so much. So this was the blender pen before I added some extra lines to that. This was also the blender pen and the alcohol. I forgot because I did two things on here. I shouldn't have done that. And I should have marked for myself what they were. Was that the alcohol? This was the alcohol. One way or the other. I liked this one the best because it gave me more of, all right, Vicki, I'll send you a piece. This gave me more of that like stained glass look that I was going for. All right, so what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna get that out of the way so I don't make a mess. Because we know me, I'll make a mess. And then let's just put this back on here. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is cover this up because I didn't really want to use this now. If the blender pen has glycerin, does it work for heat embossing? I have never tried it for heat embossing. I have never done that because it dries pretty quick, where the Versamark is a very slow drying ink and the blender pen I mean, it's already, I go like this and it's already drying. So to put embossing powder on it, I don't know. We can try it. Why not, right? All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit more color on here, and hopefully it's not ruined because I would like to salvage this because I only have one other plain one. So we're gonna put just a little bit more on here. And I don't need a lot of color. And I'm just putting, these lines were here. They were just super subtle. So I'm trying to put a cap on the pencil. I know, it is fun to experiment, isn't it? I can get this out of the way too because I'm not doing any more water right now. All right, so here you can see where this blender pen, can you just see how well that mutes that color? And it really makes it look like paint instead of pencil. Now, when I first saw these watercolor pencils, I only saw somebody color with them. And I thought, well, to me, that looks like just a grade school child coloring. It didn't really look like any artistry to me, all right? And I'm gonna just, this might be the one that was kind of dry. Let me grab another one. And some of these, I have had these for a very long time and I don't use them as often as I should. That one seems pretty wet. I don't use them as often as I should. But like I was saying, I didn't really feel very artistic, or it didn't look very artistic to me when it was just used as a pencil. But then when you add the blending brush, now this one I've got blue on, so maybe this is the one I was using. You can actually pick up a lot of these colors and kind of move it into the white areas. So hopefully you can see how that's kind of making those lines a little muted. All right. And then when I get to the gorgeous grape, we can kind of blend those colors together. Now I had also put some watercolor pencil on the body. So when I came over here, I could bring in the color from the body. See how that got darker there? Hopefully you can see on the camera pretty well. So where you've not picked it up before, you can add more color to another area. And I just thought that was really pretty. So I think I could probably just stop here because I think that's probably good enough. Or where's my scrap piece of paper? What did I get rid of? Oh, definitely try it out. So the other thing I could do is I could do like a color swatch. So let me do a bunch of color here and let me do some color here. All right, and then again, I'm trying to put the cover on the pencil. So now if I pick up some of this color, I can bring it over here. So I don't necessarily have to have it on the piece that I'm working on. I can lift it from another piece. Okay, and we'll just add some more color in here and make that a little bit more intense. So I think what I want to do is make this side a little more intense too, right? Because butterflies are pretty symmetrical. And my little OCD tendencies like to have things kind of symmetrical. So isn't that fun? I love that. So whether you put the lines on your project or bring in color from another palette, you have a similar result, all right? So I think what I want to do is add a little bit more over here because I've got more of a swirl here. So let's add some swirl here. So this line is more defined. So we could maybe add a little bit more color there and mute it a little bit more to match that side. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, every card is going to be different when you're doing coloring like this. How's that look? Okay. And then if we wanted to add a little bit more of the Gorgeous Grape, yes, I do want a cap on that one. We could bring in some Gorgeous Grape here and maybe bring a little color in by the body. And you know, aside from this being like an ephemera piece, if I don't like it, it's just paper. I can usually recreate it. This piece was already, the image was already on there. So of course I'm a little limited there because I can't recreate it. But we do have other butterflies, so I wasn't too worried about it. All right, so is that enough color or do I need to add a different color? And usually if you just rub these gently onto some paper until they go clear, you'll be fine. This still has some Gorgeous Grape on the tip, but it's not tracking any color, so that would be fine. And I do have a couple more sets of the pencils that are older versions. They don't have all of the current colors, and I have some older colors. That's why I didn't bring these in. This set here, this is 149014. These are all the current ones. This is a current set, and there's another current set that's got all the current colors. All right. So thank you, Linda. You were telling me, oh, you were telling me where to put it. Oh, where did I see that? Or was it telepathic? Because I might have missed a comment, but it doesn't matter. So let's go back to this little piece. So this is how the instructions had it. Just that plain old white butterfly. We didn't like that. So we did some ink blending with blending brushes, all right? And then we did Wink of Stella on here and some of that crushed curry, telepathic, I love it. You're not left-handed though, are you? Sometimes it seems like it could be, I don't know. But we put Wink of Stella on there and that crushed curry really was accentuated into the yellow tones. So yeah, I was thinking when I watch you on your videos, you seem to be right-handed. All right, so this was our modified version from the kit. So now we're going to modify it a little bit more. We're going to cover up this experiment. All right, or I could just try to cut that flower out of there and make these other petals into there. But I think if we just put our butterfly here, it'll be fine. What do you think? Leave the flower there and put the butterfly over it, or cut that flower off? I don't want to fussy cut around all of the flowers because then I'm going to lose that darker tone of the green for the layer, if that makes sense. So I kind of want to keep that there to go with that kind of that color palette. And then I thought these colors were just a nice bold. Leave it kind of like this. Leave the flower awesome. All right, I am going to raise this up on dimensionals though because I think we need the layering. So I'm just going to use some of the bones on here. And I figured you didn't really need to see me fussy cutting, so I did that ahead of time. All right, so that one's empty. Oh, the only thing I can do really with my right hand, aside from just like basic functions, I can use the numeric keypad, like on an adding machine or my computer keyboard. and I'm very uncoordinated with an adding machine with my left hand, even though I'm left-handed. I'm always busy writing with my left hand and then doing that with my right hand. But otherwise, I am primarily left-handed. My son is pretty much ambidextrous. He can write with both hands. He can, at least when he was younger, he could switch hit during baseball. He can, did I say eat with both hands? He can kind of write with both hands. But he's also a musician, so I don't know if his brain is wired different, maybe. I don't know. If I have to write with my right hand, I can, but it's very slow. I have to really, really concentrate. And then we'll get the take your pick tool with the straight pokey on it. So tonight we're just kind of winging it with these alternate designs. I do have a fun fold in mind for the yellow one. We'll see how it goes. Now we want our flowers to go up. So put that there. And then we'll cover this up with our butterfly. Now I was thinking I might be able to put the butterfly like this and fold it in half, but I didn't want to lose all the butterfly. So I figured we'd just put it on here. Well, I can do the regular keyboarding. You can paint. You're pretty ambidextrous then. It's a struggle for me to do both hands. So I think I'm going to put some dimensionals in the middle of the butterfly, and then maybe on the wing tips. So we'll give our butterfly a little lift. Now, if I tried to do the bone folder with my right hand, I have to really concentrate. I can do it. Don't ask me to cut with my right hand, because that will be a disaster. All right, and then we're just going to put kind of like where I curved it, where it's in the down position. I can kind of eat with my right hand. Not with chopsticks. At least I don't think with chopsticks. Yeah, probably not chopsticks. So I think that will cover pretty much my mishap. All right, and then let's see here. Sending love. You're on my mind. What do we want to use? So Vicky, you said you can eat and type with both hands. Can you eat and type with both hands at the same time? I'm thinking probably not, because if you're typing with both hands, yeah. Practice makes it better, yeah. All right, so what are we thinking? I have not done anything with this one yet as far as prepping it for, oops, that's not the piece I want a smaller one. There we go. just cleaning those off to get any kind of manufacturing oils off. We'll get some Memento. We'll get our Pearson mat. Get a flat surface. We'll see if I can keep from smudging my paper today. I think every time I've done this before, I smudged the paper. You can feel your brain switch anyway with painting with your right hand. Oh yeah, not too mushy, unless it's somebody you really love, right? I agree. There's one on here that says to a fabulous friend, I think I'm reading it upside down and backwards, this needs more ink. So sorry it's taking me so long. It's not covering very well because it needs to be re-inked. That is one of the pitfalls of using this stuff like every day. All right, so I am just going to take this over and we're going to lay this on top. And this way, I'm going to put this in here. And for you, if you're right-handed, it might go that way. For me, it's going to go this way because most of the sayings, I turn it to the right when I look at things. So I'm just going to put a little bit of seal on the back of here. We're going to put this in here. And then I'll wash this off again. And then we'll see what we want to use. Just because there's simply no words. Happy birthday, you're on my mind. You can do anything. Sending love, hooray. Maybe even just hello. Hello would work down here. Or to a fabulous friend. What do you think? Maybe even just thank you. Who can't use a thank you card from time to time? So let's, I don't know what I did with all of my, my blocks are like all over the place. All right. Now, when you do this with your, the stamp sets, remember the photopolymer will stick to your paper. So don't lose either of the carrier sheets. Whether you put your carrier sheet and attach it inside here, which I have seen some people do, they'll put it right in there and stick it on there. I don't like to do that. I like to keep mine on my stamps like this so that when I lift it up, I can just peel it. And when I lay it back here, then I know if I'm missing something. Like here, I can tell the thank you is not here. All right. So just don't lose either carrier sheet because you need them both. I've seen a lot of people say, look at what my stamp did. I don't like the new packaging. It's not the new packaging. It's that you're forgetting to keep this. So, little public service announcement there. Sorry. All right. So, let's do we want to do that on white? On a super light pink, maybe? I wonder if... Let me see here. I must have pretty in pink over here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a little darker. That might be pretty. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. So let's do... I'm going to go get Night of Navy ink because I don't know that the Misty Moonlight is going to give me the look that I want with that. Night of Navy and Gorgeous Grape is what we use for the butterfly. Let's move this out of the way so I don't mess it up. Now, we might want to do that with a circle, huh? Maybe. I love this font. Isn't that gorgeous? Product of the month, baby. All right, that's going to go up there. Let's get Spotlight on Nature. Let's see how that looks. That one's a little big. That one would probably be just right. This one will work too. Do we want stripes so it looks like a little paper plate? Or do we want some little petals? The petals might work good. I can always cut it out, and if we don't like it, I can always cut another one, right? All right, hold your thoughts. Or chat amongst yourselves, either way. The petals, okay, cool. Tucked under the butterfly or over the butterfly? I'm almost thinking maybe tucked under. Under, cool. Lots of little bits in here. All right, let's get, I need to punch these out before I put it away. If you leave these in here, you might be able to cut one more layer, but if you get a couple layers stuck in the back, then the cutting edges aren't going to work very well. So I try to get mine cleaned out before I put them away, so they're ready for the next time. Now I do have that little brush attachment for my Take Your Pick tool, but that's across the room and I don't feel like walking over there. All right, the consensus is under, good. There, all right, nope, that one was on this side. Yeah, the first time I used this, the one with the lines on it, the first time I used it and die cut a piece of paper, I'm like, that looks like a paper plate. And it has always looked like a paper plate since. All right, let's get these out of the way. And I think we'll put a couple of dimensionals on this side and then glue the top part. And what I'm trying to do is hide those little petals up near the top so that it doesn't look like there's a hole in the butterfly's butt or something, you know, just, it would look kind of weird to me. And then we need some embellishments. And that card took us a while, but we played a little bit. All right, so I could just put a bow on here and leave it at that, or we could put some dots on. Dots or a bow. Are you laughing about the holes in the butt? I was thinking a bow too. I should have thought about the bow before I glued it on, right? We'll see how this looks. Now that was the juvenile way to tie a bow, with just the 2 little bunny ears. And I'm just trying to get this loop to flip a little bit. Come on. There we go. Is that okay, you think? I think that's kind of cute. And this ribbon is fun to work with because it's just so narrow. It's just an 1/8 inch. All right. So there's that one. I think we maybe want some Wink of Stella on there. On that butterfly. Now I have to be kind of careful because I don't want to pick up a lot of color. Because I don't want to smear it. So I'm just kind of stippling with the Wink of Stella. Because I don't want to change how the color is. I just want to leave the color where it is at. All right. I think that'll work. Give this butterfly a little bit of a halo. There was a little bit on one side and not the other. All right. There's that one. All right, so let's take a look at, I'll keep that. Let's take a look at the yellow one, and I think that'll be it for tonight. So the yellow card, I'm just going to set this up here. It is cute, isn't it? I might still have to put some little embellishments on there, but I don't know that these will work. I might just find some little rhinestones or something. All right, so with this one, so here's the way it was designed. And what I've done is I cut the back off. So I just have this, and I was thinking I could fussy cut around that as well. And then I cut the back piece just in a couple little places, because what I thought we would do is I've got 8.5 by 11, right? Cut it at 4 1/4, but it's also scored at 5.5. And then I scored it at 2 5/8 because we're going to go like this. And I guess I didn't quite get it in the center. Usually I try to do it in the center, but it'll be good enough. So let's go ahead. We're going to make a little easel card. Bon Bon, welcome. So we're going to make an easel card. We're going to put these here because this is going to attach. It's going to catch that rather. So I'm going to cut this a little narrower. Let's just do 2 inches and see how that looks. I think that works better. And then I'm going to put a white piece in here. All right, so I'm gonna, I could measure it, but what's the fun in that, right? This way, and then let's just leave a little space there because that way then this will have a place to go. We're gonna take this down to about there. We'll go a little smaller. Take off like another 1/16. We'll hang on to that. We might be able to use it. Well, either one of these we might be able to use for a sentiment, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna attach this down right now. Because hopefully this will work out good. All right, and then this piece I was just gonna fussy cut and put on the front of there, but maybe I'll just leave it as it is. Fussy cut or leave it full card front. So if I fussy cut it, we're going to have a crushed curry border on here. And that might be fine. But otherwise it's going to be like this. Now I have some little flowers here that I cut ahead of time. These will go together. I just have to figure out there. Because these have a little flirty flamingo on the edges. So I found some flowers that were similar. And there we go. I should have put these outline pieces on adhesive sheets, but of course I didn't think about that in time. I was just in my own little world. Cutting away. And this will look cute with some little rhinestones or something in the center, I think. Fussy cut the top half where the card bends. Sounds like a plan. So that is going to be, I'm just going to fold this so that it matches. I'm going to take that bend and I'm just going to put a pencil line here. Actually, I should probably do it this way. That makes more sense, Lori, right? We'll just do a pencil line there and there. Really light pencil line. My snips are here somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna snip to about there. Snip to about there. That was a good idea. was just checking to see if these are my new snips. My new snips, I have a little more difficulty fussy cutting. I'm not doing a very good job. Get rid of some of that excess cardstock there. I might have an easier time. Now, you know, I can't carry on much of a conversation and fussy cut at the same time because I think I put too much thought into my fussy cutting. Maybe I should try to talk more when I fussy cut so I don't worry about it so much. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that's my problem. I get hyper-focused. Nicole, you just got an order delivered, so you're fussy cutting things out for an online retreat. Oh, tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, well, it might be relaxing for you, but for me, not so much. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite thing. Definitely not my favorite thing. This will look nice, though. I think it'll be worth the effort. I had not considered only fussy cutting half of it. That's why this is Team Lori collabs, right? All right, I think that's pretty good. A couple little places here that are a little wonky, but overall I think it's all right. All right. So that's going to go here. Now, I think I'm going to trim just a little bit off of there because I think I do want a little border around there. So let's just trim about a 1/16 off of each side. And the 1/16 just basically goes to the outer edge of that brown track. And you can see where I'm dropping my blade kind of in the middle of that panel because I don't want to have any bunched up edges. I don't want to mess it up. I think that gives it kind of a nice edge there. And I'm going to take a little bit more off because then I don't have to cut down here. Let's take another 1/16 off. That works. And we're only going to put any adhesive on the bottom half, of course, because otherwise it's not going to be an easel card. And I'm going to go like this so that I can see nice where my outline is. scooch it over a little bit here. All right. So when it's closed, it's going to kind of look like this. Now we could stamp something on here. I don't know, or we could put, I'll think on that. We might put another piece of designer series paper or something behind there. Just to set it off a little, I don't know. We'll see. All right, but this is gonna stand up here. So now this piece is going to get attached here. All right, so let's go ahead and glue that down. And I want to make sure that the corners that are going to catch the layer have a good amount of adhesive to the edge. So I'm just going to line that up along with that white piece. We'll give an even border on the bottom, and then we've got that slit in there, so the easel will hang in here. All right. I think we need to put a little bit more weight on there and burnish this. But then we're going to put another layer in here. And I was thinking some flowers, but maybe we could put these flowers down around here, maybe clustered. That might be too busy. So maybe the flowers here. So let's put a little bit of glue here and just see how these look. And these are from the Fragrant Layers. I'm using these two pieces. And if we use our Take Your Pick tool, we can kind of push down in the center a little bit to give those a little curl. That might be cute. I think that'll work. And that'll help hold that layer as well. And I'm just putting just a small amount of glue on those, the overlap pieces. And I'm just looking to match up the place that's got like the 3 bumps, because that's the easiest one for me to find. And just the smallest amount of glue, because this green glue goes a long way, little goes a long way. And I don't want it to ooze out of the edges of my card, or my flowers rather. All right. Now, let's burnish this a little bit more. So that'll stick in there. Those can go there. Then when we close the card, they'll be in there. We're only going to attach them kind of in a cluster on one side. Do we want to do it on the right or the left? Maybe the right side. Or maybe 2 and 1. Maybe that'll work. And let's see. Let's do this on white. We're going to do hello from our Fabulous Things. And let's do, yeah, let's go ahead and do Night of Navy. That'll work. And then this one says to a fabulous friend, but what if we just put hello on the top, and then when they open it, it'll say friend down here. To a fabulous friend. Now, we could try to be really careful and only ink up where it says friend. Or we could cut it. It's brand new, so I don't know if I want to cut it just yet. So let's just see how inking up friend works. Hopefully that'll be good. And if this goes over here, friend can kind of go in the middle, I guess. That's the middle-ish. Good enough. We'll close that. We'll clean these off so I can put them back in the right case and I won't have to worry about which case did they come out of. Because I do sometimes struggle when it's the start of a new catalog and new products. I sometimes forget what goes where because they're new and I haven't used them as much just yet. So let's go ahead and put To a Fabulous Friend back. And hello. And then thank you. And I just try to get them so that they're close to where I have it stamped. It doesn't have to be exact, but I do like it to be kind of close. All right. Fabulous Things. Product of the month. Love it. All right. So let's go ahead and put hello on here with dimensionals, I think. Maybe I need a new pack. Or an old pack. It's really windy here. We're going to be super cold over the weekend too. What's the weather like everywhere else? What are you folks having for weather? Whoops. Whoops. Let's put these on with just some glue. I'm just going to kind of do the bottom 3 petals here. Hopefully you can, I might be a little too far down on the screen, huh? All right. So I don't want the flowers to extend past the outside of the card. I do want them to kind of be up here so that that card sits in there, so that layer sits in there. And maybe I should move it down just a little bit. Might have been just a little too high. Just so that the card doesn't go flopping flat when it's been on display for a while. And this one I can do all the way around. And then this one we'll just do 3 kind of for the side, I think. And that'll catch that layer. Maybe. All right, so there's our little simple easel card. I think I'm going to find some other designer series paper that will look good with this. I need to maybe find something that's crushed curry. We've got some Darling Duckling, but I don't know that that won't work. Let's take a look in here. Oh, this would work. I think that'll work. And let's just give that a measure since I'm cutting a wide piece. So that's just a smidge over 4 1/16. And then for here, we've got just under 2 3/4. See how that looks. Oh, cute as a bug. I know. The bundle had not been available, but it's back in stock. So I need to probably put my order in. The suite is not available, so there's something still missing, like maybe the ribbon or something. Oh, I think that looks cute. All right. That would be adorable for a story page or a book, rather. All of those. They are super cute. So even without the stamp set, I mean, all the cards that we did with just the paper, I didn't have the stamps or the dies. And we did these cute cards, fussy cut, no fussy cut. They're very fun. Very fun paper for sure. So I think that looks really nice. So the other thing we could do is we could wrap a piece of ribbon around here if I had white ribbon, but I don't think I have any white ribbon. I could do twine, but I don't know. I think that's probably good enough. What do you think? Yes, it has been very popular. And especially, we had a demonstrator retreat this past weekend, and that suite was featured for one of the sessions, and people who weren't sold on it, like me, I mean, I got the paper because I like to get all of the papers. But when I saw the cute things she did with it, it's like, oh, this, I can't wait. I do need to get this now, because I can't get everything all at once. I can't afford everything all at once. Well, I could if I didn't get other things in my life, but all right. So here's our simple little easel card. So it will lay flat when they get it, and then it will sit up quite cutely when they open it up. And then you can still put your sentiment there, whatever you want to say. You could put another card in here if you wanted to, or, you know, if you wanted to do like a gift card, you could put a pocket in here for a gift card. Or if you wanted to do like a journaling thing, you could put a pocket with, if it's a low enough pocket, with it like a pull-out tag or something with a message. I could have done that here too, but I wasn't thinking about that. Oh, Nicole, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, we're on Vegemite and toast rations. I know, it's crazy. I thought there was so much fun stuff in this mini catalog. I know some people say, oh, there's nothing in the catalog I like. And I'm thinking, then you just don't have your eyes open, because there is some adorable stuff. All right, so here is one card from tonight, and that might go with that one. What envelope went with this one? No, I guess the green envelope went with this one. So we could do that green envelope again. But I think what I might want to do is do a different green envelope. Let me pull the envelopes out. And I'm going to keep the green envelope with this one. But for this one, I think I'm going to use the fragrant layers and put that flower on there. So if we use this, and that's just giving us the detail. All right, here I want the flower with the fill. The butterflies are quite pretty. All right, so let's get another block here. So this was Misty Moonlight that we did the butterflies with. I'm going to stamp this off and see how it looks. I think I like it stamped off, and then this one we're going to do like so. That'll be cute on the envelope, I think. All right, so I think we'll just do like so, and like so, and like so. And then I'm going to line this up so I can find the nub that's got the 3 edges on it. I'm going to stamp off and stamp. And if I don't quite get it lined up, I don't care. It can look a little abstract as far as I'm concerned. Cute. All right, so the only thing then, I can get rid of that. So here's the 2 cards from tonight, and we will pretend that we got this envelope ready. All right, so there's our 2 cards from tonight. Now the only thing that I didn't do, and we're already pretty late, so tomorrow we'll do these and we'll do embossing to make those look really spectacular. As if those weren't spectacular enough, we're going to emboss on those and make them even more so. So that will be a to be continued for tomorrow, if that's all right. Because I have a walking date with a former office mate of mine in the morning. So for us to meet on time, she always sets the time a little earlier than I'm quite ready. So yeah, I should probably get to sleep a little earlier than my normal, like 3 a.m. Because I usually kind of, after I'm done with the live, I usually putz around a little bit, you know, try to straighten things up and yeah, watch Juju's video and whoever else I can find on there. But all right, so there's our 2 cards for tonight. So same kit. Where did my directions go? Here. So Butterfly Garden Kit. I'm sure Linda has long since gone to bed. She's not usually up this late, but Linda, if you're still here, Butterfly Garden Kit, new from January. And these are our alternates for today. So this takes the place of that one. Now I could have probably put a butterfly on there too. We could still do that. Do you think it needs a butterfly? That might tie that Flirty Flamingo in there even more. I think we need a butterfly. Who agrees? Why not, right? Thank you, Nicole, for popping in. Winka Stella, this one. Because all the colors on there, I don't have to add any color. Yes, I think the butterfly is a good add-on. And I wasn't even thinking about the butterfly on there. Oh, that looks pretty. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's got sparkle to it. And then we'll give these, I should have probably done the Winka Stella after. It's all right. That's all right. And we'll put the butterfly over here, but above where I've got the few embellishments. So we can set that right in there. And I need a few more cut here. I'm just going to cut all the way around because then it'll be ready for next time. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to do it on the body. And then we'll put that up there. Oh, I think that makes it even more cute. Nicole, I'm glad you were inspired. All right, so Here's our alternative for this card. Nice little easel card. And then we did this card. And where did it go? Here. We did this card. And I guess that used a green envelope before as well, but I just laid it out with the pink one. It doesn't really matter. You can mix and match how you like. And we used some watercolor markers on this one. The watercolor markers and a blender pen. So I'm glad you're inspired. Hopefully you'll make something similar. I will post these on my Facebook page at some point. And maybe I'll do like a little reel with all the different ones that we've made. So maybe tomorrow after we do these embossed babies, I'm looking forward to doing those. Then I'll do a reel with all of them. So thanks for popping in, everybody. I appreciate your company and your suggestions for how to make the cards better. And I think that's about it. If you're into your weekend already, enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're just starting your weekend, Juju, get some sleep so you can craft your weekend away. And until next time, happy crafting. Thanks, everybody.